Okay, first of all, for a quick overview, this is my vehicle. It's a 2002 Ford Ranger XLT 4x4. It's the extended cab. It has those suicide doors on the back. Interior is pretty decent. When I got it, it was in pretty decent shape. There's a couple little cosmetic things I had to fix up on it. I like that little umbrella sunshade thing. It goes in here really easy and it's really nice. Keeps the truck a little bit cooler. Takes some of that UV out. And there's enough room behind the seat there to store a bunch of my gear, my kit. And I got my toolbox. It's got a little bit of a lift to it, not much. Basically just in the tires themselves. But it's got a step bumper on it. I can tow with it. I put these plastic things on here. They're not very good. They have a tendency to break and split. Anyways, I keep a bunch of my kit inside this toolbox here too. So you can see there's all kinds of gimmicks in there. But I do have tools in there. I have boots and I have some shelter gear and stuff like that. That gray bag right there, that's the tent. And of course I got my metal detector and a bunch of other trinkets in there. But this is going to stay with the truck. And it makes it interesting on my tent because it's not, it has that floor liner in it that goes across the bed. So I put it on there. It works and I know what I'm going to do to make it work for me. But I thought this will make a nice little shelf to store things on when I get it all situated. Plus I will be able to access it from the inside. It's got nice rounded corners on it. It's not going to tear anything if I don't get too rambunctious. And it locks, so I can keep that gear in there pretty much full time. I mean, anybody can defeat a lock. I was in prison for 31 years, and I know that. But if you got a bigger truck, well, that's cool. I had one too. Years ago, I was driving a Dodge 2500 Cummins diesel, pulling a fifth wheel trailer, and we just don't get out like that anymore. So this is something that I wanted to try. This little truck was something that I got right after I retired from prison, and I've been really happy with it. Smaller truck, and I can still utilize it and still take it camping. So I want to do a kit review, but at first I just wanted to let everybody see my little truck. It's a 2002. It's got the 4.0 or something motor in it, 6-cylinder automatic transmission. I wish it had a standard transmission in it, but you can't have everything you want when you're buying used sometimes. So there it is, my truck. One of the questions you'll find in doing something like this, camping or whatever your extra curricular activity is where do you store all of this stuff? Well, I got this rack system off of Amazon. It's basically just the brackets, those white painted brackets that you see. I made that platform out of 1x6 tongue and groove pine, and I put the furring strips on it with glue and good 1.5-inch staples to give it some support. And I doubled on the ends and just singles across the bottoms, and then right where the brackets are, I've got some tie-in points that I just haven't gotten to yet because I was too busy putting the stuff up there to see how it would fit. Anyways, That's what I do with mine, is hanging from the rafters in my garage. It keeps it dry, keeps it away from critters and stuff like that too. Can't say it's going to keep it warm because there's no heat out here unless I'm out here watching TV. But that's what I do with mine. It's all got to go somewhere. And holy moly, your truck is filled up with camping gear just like that. Believe it or not, most of that fits behind in the cab behind the passenger seat, driver's seat. Most of it. There'll be a few things that'll have to be thrown out onto the back of the truck, but that's what it is. Okay, first things first. This is my bed liner. Makes it easier for me. She is good to go. Then so the combination of this and this takes away that corrugated. Climb up on here, no problems. I can use this ladder, but because the way the tent comes all the way out to the end of the bed here, like that, you gotta kind of step around to get in through the opening. But you can do it. This thing's only 31 inches off the ground. Has the 6-foot bed all the way up to the tailgate line at 6 foot. Then you've got an extra 20 inches of the tailgate itself. This one is just held by cables. Most of them are anymore. Sometimes they got the mechanical linkage to them anymore. They don't. And if you're really cool and got the tailgate that has the steps on it and everything, well, you. So there you go. That's what that's all about. Next thing is to just do some kit review. I'm just going to lay it out here. I'm not going to itemize everything, but I'm just going to show you that you can carry a lot of stuff and you probably won't ever touch it once you get there. But it's like going out in a snowstorm without a coat. And see, if you had a coat with you, you could put it on. If it got too warm, you could take that coat off. Get the meaning? I mean, you're going to take stuff with you that you're not going to use all the time. And you can be set up in such a way where you can be kit for weather, kit for cooking, kit for comfort, kit for entertainment. Like, I got a little piece of my kit that is specifically for my own entertainment, and I got a lot of batteries to charge. So this is my truck. This is my bed liner flooring, and it's really comfortable. You can crawl up on your knees, walking around on this barefoot, socks, whatever. Feels really good. It's just that indoor-outdoor carpet. Looks like grass. It's an old piece we used to use on our camping trailer, and I like it. Okay, on the short end of it, this is a lot of my cooking stuff. I'm not planning on going out and doing like full-on family style meals or anything like that. I'm only going to do like single person out campfire style cooking, even though I'll be using stoves and ovens and things like that. This is basically for the solo camper. So here's something that I found at one of the thrift stores. It's one of them roll-up tool bags from Cobalt. And what I did, I turned it into a kitchen bag, and it really helps. There's a lot of stuff in there. See if I can move this here. I got serving stuff, I got cutting stuff, and little handles for on the fire, and seasonings, silicone, potato peeler. There's a bunch of stuff in here. I don't have it all organized yet. This grate was pretty cool. It's just a little grate that expands is all. So it gives you a good long grate to use over an open fire. And it just goes together like that. And food prep stuff, a little bag for something, more seasoning, all kinds of stuff here. And more seasonings, more tools. Got a silverware set there. So, yeah, that's one of my little kits. Some cleaning stuff too. And I can't remember how it goes every time. Uh-oh, lost my garlic press. I'll worry about that later though. So, in this bag here, more food prep stuff. My small cast iron Dutch oven. And my coffee pot. Measuring cup. I got a little twig burner stove in here, and in my Dutch oven I got an alcohol burner, a transient burner, wood scraper for my cast iron stuff, a couple of those that I made, and here's some more handmade tools. Now these aren't bushcraft tools because I made them in a shop. I did use hand tools on a lot of them, but for the most part I did finish them up with heavy duty tools. There's my pizza peel that I made that fits my little oven over there. Goes in perfect. And a couple of spoons, or a spatula, and out of a scrap of wood I made a butter knife. Works too. And then that little bag is just my cooler bag. It'll have my perishables that I need to keep iced down. Remember, this is only a solo overnighter stuff. I might do 2 days. I got bigger coolers, but that's basically my overnighter. Here's my oven. I like it. It's one of them fold-out jobs. Also have the pizza stone. Fits perfect in this thing. Not really sure where I'm going to use it when I cook with it. If I'm going to put it on the bottom or if I'm going to put it in the middle. Everybody seems to put it in the middle. So we'll see how that works out. And I built my own little case to hold it in. I ain't backpacking this sucker, it's too heavy. So anyways, this is my heat shield to go around my little twig burner, and I'm going to try to see if it'll work for this stove here. A lot of people say that the holes where you put the racks in lets a lot of heat escapes, and plus they're really thin walled anyways. I'm wondering if I can't just drape this across the top and down the sides, cover up them holes. Because it is just a windshield, and it might help, it might not. The stone, I think, is the thing that really does work the best for the stone. So there's that. Like I said, I'm not going to itemize everything, but I'm getting a few things out. And these things were just fun. I enjoyed that. Kind of my bushcrafting experience. Now we're going to get in the two mains. I like this size because it fits really good behind the seat in the truck. It's got locking lids on it, so if I do have to throw it in the back, they shouldn't blow off. Shouldn't is the key word. And then inside there, I've just got lighting and a first aid kit, blah, blah, blah. On the outside of the box, I labeled it. If I'm in distress and I need somebody to find my first aid kit, they know where to look. If I'm helping somebody in distress and I need my first aid kit and I can't get to it, I can tell somebody where it is, and there it is. I learned that from Bo on the 5th column. And there's some miscellaneous stuff. Them gloves. I'm not real sure about these yet, but they seem sturdy enough. I'm hoping that I can utilize them for moving coals around and stuff, but we'll see. I don't trust anything. I don't like being burned either. And it's just more kitchen gear. Bucket, the hatchet, water bottles. The water bottles aren't really all that important on most camps because, like I said, I'm not packing. But just in case, I got me a nice good size one in case I'm like a couple of days out and I need a lot more water. So that works. Then, last but not least, we've seen the tent. So you got to kind of figure that if you're traveling in weather, rain or whatever, this thing's going to get wet. The only thing I can suggest is to towel it off or squeegee it off, and I do have a squeegee in my toolbox that I'll use for that. Your floor liner is pretty much made out of, or my floor liner is pretty much made out of the same as the exterior of the tent. It's all sewn in really nice and tight, seam sealed and everything, so hopefully it won't bleed through, but until I find out I won't know. My first experience is still to come. Anyways, it goes together really quick, and it comes apart really quick. The tent, with some experience with it, yeah, getting it put together quick. I'll say maybe 10-15 minutes, something like that, and all goes back in that bag pretty easy. But if it's wet, you're gonna want to dry it out when you get home anyways. So there might be a time or two where it gets stuffed behind the seat of the truck, and it just has to be that way. Anyway. It goes together quick. This stuff really saves your feet, your knees. So, something to think about. So one last little thing before I stop this end of it is this thing. There's a power bank in here. Also, there's a 40-watt solar panel. And even though it's not going to be a necessity, I don't think, for most overnight solos, it will allow me the opportunity to recharge the batteries on my cameras, my phone, and you got a 4-panel solar panel. I think it's 37 watts or something like that, but they basically said it was 40 watts when I ordered it. This all folds down. It's got a little magnetic kind of a catch. It's all USB stuff. Fits really good in this bag. Had to come up with all my own cables and stuff like that because I went as cheap as I could on it. But I found a really good accessories pack for cheap. So that's my solar charger, Generac, whatever, generator kind of a thing. It works pretty good. I've used it a couple of times just to try it out, and I'm real happy with it. It's not the most powerful in the world. It's a 2,000 watt, something like that. Or 200 watt, I'm sorry. Anyways, more than enough for anything that I'm going to have to charge up, power up, whatever. And it just happened to fit in this bag like really good. So I might as well just throw these in here if I can. Get them out of the way. I don't think the peel is going to make it. Nope, I don't think so. Anyways, more kit.